Make sure you watch this video. I cannot emphasize this enough. Watch this video all the way to the end. You will find a source of vegan protein you've never heard of. You're only going to hear it here. So just keep watching, all right? Top 5 sources of vegan protein. For starters, I'm not actually a vegan, and I kind of care about animals and the environment, but not that much, okay? So I'm not going to necessarily take a day off work and go protest for the animals and the environment and, oh, everyone's got to be a vegan and whatever. Okay, so the reason why I'm kind of advocating more of a plant-based diet here is because a lot of studies have shown it does lead to more longevity and less disease. So let's get things started here. Plant-based protein, number one. Number one, nuts and seeds. I'm sure you've heard of this before, and I'm just going to tell you guys the main drawback to nuts and seeds is almost all of them come with quite a bit of fat. So it'll give you some protein, and then it'll give you maybe double or even triple the amount of fat that's in there. So lots of calories in it. However, it does have protein. A great source, chia seeds, and probably the best source would be almonds. Why almonds? It has the least amount of fat out of any nut and seed. Okay? So vegan protein, number two. Number two, legumes. So you got your beans, you got your chickpeas, you got your lentils, you got your peas. All of them are fairly high in protein, but they're all also kind of high in carbohydrates as well. So they do have their protein, but they do have quite a bit of carbohydrates. And one of the better sources in there for protein is the fava bean. So if you've never had fava beans, go ahead and look that up. It's a great source of protein. Vegan source, number 3. So number 3 would just be protein powders. Okay, so why protein powders? Protein powders because they're very low or non-existent in carbohydrates and fat. So since all of your natural sources are going to come with a lot of calories from fat and from carbs, you can definitely add supplements, right? So I got hemp powder here, which is a complete protein. The drawback to hemp powder, it doesn't taste very good on its own. Many people can't stomach this on its own, and I'm one of them, okay? It's not great on its own. Don't try it on its own. Mix it with some berries, or you can mix it with a flavored vegan protein like this that I have here. This is a combination of pea protein and rice protein. So pea protein being a legume, rice protein being a grain, they complement each other in terms of their amino acid profile. So that way they're more of a complete protein. Okay, so that's that right here. I like the berry flavor, and I like blended berries as well with hemp and whatnot. You guys could put whatever fruits in there you like, or if you want to just drink it on its own, fine by me. It's your taste buds. Number 4. Number 4, bean grains. I know the whole world is basically anti-grain now. However, there are a huge majority of us still eating grains. And out of all these grains, you can actually get wheat gluten. So you can get the stuff that everyone thinks is basically the greatest killer on earth. You can get that on its own, wheat gluten, and only about 1% of the population is actually sensitive to gluten, so chances are you're not. Give it a shot, see how you like it. It's a very common meat alternative that a lot of vegans eat, wheat gluten. So, and if you are gluten intolerant, you could eat things like quinoa and get your grain protein from that. Vegan protein, number 4. Number 4, you have definitely heard of it, and you have definitely heard that it's going to kill you and that it's bad for you, and you know, if you're a guy, you're going to develop female tits, and if you're a girl, you're going to get breast cancer and all these terrible things. You know what I'm talking about? It is soy. Okay, so soy has been eaten for a very, very long time in Japan. And they don't eat it just fermented. A lot of the times you're going to hear, oh, they eat it fermented and not raw. Not true. You could go talk to Japanese people in your community. You can go to Japan. I have friends that have been to Japan. They definitely eat it in its unfermented form, okay guys? And they're also drinking soy milk. So soy is very high in protein and a super common source of protein for many people around the world. It's not bad for you, and it does come in a fermented form known as natto and tempeh. So tempeh being Indonesian, so it's got different flavors in it, and natto is a Japanese fermented form of soy. You guys can try those as well. Other forms are tofu, which is kind of more like a cheese, looks like more of a cheese. And now for the finale. Calm down. Okay, the finale, one of the highest, it's actually higher in protein than the soybean even. It is the lupini bean. So yeah, I did give legumes a separate section, I know. Soybean is also a legume, and the lupini bean is also a legume. But the soybean and the lupini bean are just kind of in their separate category. They're high in protein, higher than all the other ones, and this is even higher than the soybean, and it's also low in fat and low in carbs. It's crazy. So you're getting 16 grams of protein for every 100 grams. You will not get this ratio anywhere else. So the lupini bean is common in many Mediterranean countries, so no one's really heard of it here. So there you have it, lupini bean. How do you eat them? Well, they're actually basically pre-cooked and ready to go right out of this jar. You just take them, pop them in your mouth, eat them. That's it. There's no dish that you can actually cook with this. So they're all just eaten just the way that they are. They're eaten as snacks. I am predicting there will be a worldwide shortage of lupini beans now. Every hipster, every vegan will be outside of every grocery store ready to break it down for some lupini beans. Alright guys, there you have it. The secret to high protein vegan diet is a lupini bean.